You wake up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, eyes fixed on the ceiling while your phone sits face down on the nightstand. You know what's on the other side of that screen? The bank app that reads $0, the pile of missed payments, the calls you avoid. That sick, frozen feeling in your chest is real. It's not moral failure. It's a problem with a root cause. And it can be solved. This is not about hand-wringing or wishful thinking. This is a restart plan built on hard truths and time-tested principles inspired by Warren Buffett's approach to money, translated for someone beginning at zero. Zero is not a grave. Zero is a clean slate. You can treat it like defeat, or you can treat it like a blank ledger and an invitation to act. The system is rigged toward consumption, high-interest credit, endless subscription traps, social pressure to display success. Blaming the machine won't fix your rent. Responsibility doesn't mean shame. It means being the rescuer of your own life. If you're ready to restart, pause this video now. Grab a pen and paper and write down the first 3 places you spend money you don't need. Do it, then come back. Good. You just did the simplest, hardest thing. You started naming the leaks. Naming is the first move in the financial surgery you're about to perform. You are not your balance. Repeat that until it's not just words. Your dignity, your value, your creativity, your ability to learn, none of that is measured by a bank balance. Your net worth is a number. Your worth is a lifetime. This separation matters because if you tie identity to account numbers, mistakes become catastrophes, and recovery becomes impossible. When you see zero as identityless, it becomes workable. When you see zero as a starting point, it becomes tactical. Now, let's operate. This is emergency financial triage. You will do a cold, honest inventory. No optimism, no minimization, no guessing. Open a spreadsheet or use a plain sheet of paper. You will list every account you owe money to, every credit card, every store card, every payday loan, every subscription, every past due utility, every IOU. For each entry, write the name, the balance, and the interest rate. If there's an overdraft fee or a penalty, note it. If you have no idea of a number, call, log in, find out. Known is less scary than unknown. Here's why. Compounding interest works both ways. A credit card charging 25% interest doesn't care about your feelings. That interest is a parasite. It turns yesterday's problem into tomorrow's canyon. The first priority is to stop the bleeding. That means surgical cuts to unnecessary spending. This is where you get ruthless and yet compassionate to yourself. Ruthless to line items, compassionate in tone. Start with subscriptions and recurring charges. If you cannot remember why you're paying it every month, cancel it. Streaming services, unused software subscriptions, premium apps. Cut them. Next, address financing traps. Financed electronics, jewelry, or cars that cost you more in interest than they're worth. If a financed car is a choice you made to look a certain way, recognize that appearance costs oxygen. Call it the ego tax. Money you spend to feed other people's impressions. Reduce the ego tax and protect your cash flow. Meal choices matter. Eating out twice a day is convenient. It is also a slow hemorrhage. Simple changes. Meal prep on weekends, bringing lunch, swapping 3 coffee runs for 1 home-brewed pot. Free up real dollars. Transportation. Can you downgrade insurance, car make, or routes? Social pressure. Yes, friends will notice. Some will scoff. Most will understand when your story becomes one of progress. Prepare one-line answers that preserve dignity. I'm cutting back while I get this under control. Done. You will face pushback, internal and external. Internal voice says, "You deserve this after a hard day." External voices mock your austerity. They are loud because they are comfortable in their own consumption. Discipline will look odd to them. That's okay. Your job is to be uncomfortable now so you can be free later. With the bleeding staunched, it's time to weaponize the most undervalued asset you own, your time. Money buys options. Time buys skill. When your account reads zero, you can't buy most options, but you can buy time. And time compounds like interest when invested in capability. Commit to protecting 4 hours every evening. Pick a block. For many people, the window from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. works. Protect it like a job. No mindless scrolling, no ambient TV. This 4-hour block is your human capital deposit, non-negotiable, fiercely guarded. Treat it as the equivalent of earning an extra low-risk income stream because, in the long run, it will be. How do you spend those hours? Focus on micro skills, small, valuable competencies that translate quickly into paid work or cost-saving abilities. Micro skills are not weak. They are precise. They solve specific problems that people or businesses will pay to have solved. Examples: basic digital marketing, setting up ads, email funnels, entry-level coding, HTML, CSS, simple JavaScript, spreadsheet automation, bookkeeping fundamentals, HVAC troubleshooting, basic electrical repair, copywriting, project coordination, social media content creation focused on measurable outcomes, and data cleaning with tools like Excel or Google Sheets. Pick one skill that meets 3 tests. It has clear market demand, it's learnable in a 6-month sprint, and it leverages your strengths or interests. Once chosen, break the 6 months into 3 phases: learn, practice, sell. Month 1, structured learning, courses, books, tutorials. Month 2, practice on small projects, help a friend, do pro bono, create a portfolio. Month 3, offer a low-cost paid service, pitch gigs, take freelance tasks, rinse and repeat. Your initial prices should be modest. Your focus is to build proof that you deliver value. Proof converts into higher rates. This is where the replaceable versus irreplaceable idea becomes a razor. Replaceable labor is easy to find and easy to replace. General retail, basic hourly tasks, roles with no differentiation. Irreplaceable labor solves specific problems that save time, increase revenue, or reduce costs for others. When you move from replaceable to irreplaceable, your rate changes. You stop trading time for money at the lowest rung, and you begin to capture more value per hour. 6 months of disciplined learning and selling can yield your first real victory, the first $1,000 earned from your newly developed skill. That first 1,000 is not just money. It's proof. It is psychological oxygen. It confirms you can learn, deliver, and be paid. When you hit that milestone, treat it like a sacred object. Do not spend it on conspicuous consumption. Allocate that first $1,000 in this order. Build a small buffer, $300 to $500 as an emergency cushion. Invest in tools that increase your capacity, $200 to $400 for a course, software, or equipment, and keep a margin. $100 to $200 for modest morale-boosting rewards that don't create new ongoing costs. The point is reinvestment, not reward inflation. Resist the temptation to upgrade your lifestyle because that is lifestyle creep. The enemy of compounding, Now we bring in Buffett-inspired principles, translated into actions for someone starting at zero. These are not quotes. They are high-level ideas that have guided long-term investors, and they work when adapted to rebuilding from scratch. Frugality. Buffett's life has examples of living below means. For you, frugality is not deprivation. It is resource allocation. Frugality directs scarce resources toward capability and resilience. It buys you time to learn and the margin to survive setbacks. Margin of safety. In investing, margin of safety means not risking everything on one bet. In your life, it means building buffers, emergency savings, a fallback skill, and contractual clients where possible rather than one-off gigs. When you have a margin, you make better decisions under stress. Compounding. Small gains repeated over time become large gains. Two habits show compounding in life: reinvesting earnings into skill and capital, and saving a portion of every payment you receive, even if it's small. If you consistently reinvest a percentage of every dollar you earn into education, tools, or a safe, low-cost fund, when appropriate, you set a compounding machine in motion, slowly at first, then with momentum, patience, and selectivity. When you finally have spare capital to invest, don't chase flashy schemes. Long-term approaches that favor diversified, low-cost exposure are generally safer than chasing hot tips. For someone starting at zero, the priority is investing in yourself first. The return on a skill that increases your hourly price from $10 to $30 compounds more reliably than speculative investments you don't understand. How do these translate into an early playbook? Start with emergency fund and skill investment. Build a $500 to $1,000 buffer while you train and get paid work. Use your first earnings primarily to buy tools that accelerate your ability to earn more: courses, reliable software, or a laptop upgrade. When you reach $2,000 to $3,000 of spare capital and an established income stream, consider a simple allocation that makes sense for your situation. Preserve a cash buffer, margin of safety, continue investing in skills or business capacity, and allocate a small percentage, 5% to 20%, to low-cost diversified options for long-term growth, index funds or similar vehicles. But only when you understand the risks and you have sufficient liquid reserves. This is not financial advice. It is a general framework inspired by value-oriented principles of safety and compounding. A word on investments. Index funds and broad market vehicles are examples of long-term diversified exposure. They are not a fast track. They reward patience. If you choose to allocate money to markets, do so after establishing your buffer and your income stream. Never use high-interest debt to invest. Never chase guarantees. Your best early bet is skill acquisition. Human capital tends to yield higher, more controllable returns when you start at zero. Let's bring this back to day-to-day actions. Your short checklist: 1. List every debt and service. 2. Cancel subscriptions and cut the ego tax. 3. Protect 4 hours nightly. 4. Choose one micro skill and commit to a 6-month sprint. 5. Aim to earn your first $1,000 from that skill. 6. Reinvest that money into buffers and tools. 7. Adopt Buffett-style habits of frugality, margin of safety, and patience as you accumulate capital. Mini hook. Face the monster. Write every debt down. You did this already when you paused, but make a daily ritual of reviewing the list, updating balances, and tracking progress. Visibility drives behavior. There will be friction. Expect it. Friends will invite you to things you can't afford. Your mind will invent reasons to postpone hard work. I'll start Monday. I'll learn later. This job is beneath me. Those are soft traps. Replace them with hard commitments, a calendar, a public accountability partner, and a small financial bet on your consistency. Put $5 into a jar for every week you keep your 4-hour block intact. The small stakes create psychological momentum. When you begin earning beyond that initial 1,000, don't let lifestyle creep steal your future. Lifestyle creep is sneaky. Small upgrades, new headphones, a nicer phone, become baseline. Instead, allocate your increases intentionally. A fixed percentage to savings, a fixed percentage to reinvestment in skills or business, and a fixed percentage for living improvements. For example, a sensible split might be 50% reinvest, 30% buffer or save, 20% modestly enjoy. This prevents a repeat of zero when life surprises you. Let's map a hypothetical timeline. Month 0, financial triage and lifestyle quarantine. Month 1-3, pick and learn a micro skill. Practice daily in the 4-hour block. Land small gigs. Month 4-6, convert practice into reliable paying work. Target $1,000 in earnings from the skill. Month 6-12, scale rates. Add repeat clients. Build the buffer to $2,000, $3,000, and start a disciplined reinvestment plan. Year 1-2, diversify income streams, continue skill deepening, and when spare capital is consistent, apply low-cost, patient investing principles. Numbers matter because they translate vague hope into precise action. If a credit card charges 25% APR and you owe $2,000, that interest can add hundreds of dollars a year. Attack high-interest accounts first. Every dollar you free from interest is oxygen. Use it to build your buffer and invest in earning capacity. Remember, skills persist. Money can be stolen, lost, or taxed away in unfortunate circumstances. A skill remains yours. If life forces you back to zero, you'll rebuild faster the second time. That's resilience. The psychological payoff of developing repeatable competence cannot be overstated. It changes how you respond to stress. It changes your bargaining power in the job market. It changes your sense of agency. There will be days when you question the grind. On those nights, slow the pace and visualize your goal. Picture yourself opening your bank app and seeing $0 in debts, not because you hid from them, but because you cleared them and built a modest saving buffer. Picture walking into a meeting with a portfolio of clients or logging into a freelance platform and seeing repeat orders. Hold that image. Let it move you forward. Visualization is not magic. It's rehearsal for discipline. One practical habit to keep: every paycheck, before you spend $1, allocate your percentages. Even if the paycheck is small, the ritual trains your brain to prioritize. Automate savings when possible. Add a direct deposit split or an app that rounds up purchases into savings. Automation reduces decision fatigue. Watch your language. Replace "I can't" with "I won't right now." The difference puts you back in control. "I can't buy that" is victim language. "I won't buy that until I hit X milestone" is agency language. Small linguistic shifts have outsized behavioral effects. Don't romanticize austerity. This is a sprint and a strategy, not a vow of permanent deprivation. The goal is to create options. The discipline you build now buys you freedom later. Freedom to choose work you like, to live in a way that aligns with your values, and to allocate money where it matters. As you consolidate progress, remember Buffett-style patience. Compounding is quiet. It rewards steady, boring choices. The aggressive, headline-making move rarely wins in the long run. Your job is to make the boring decisions daily. Pay attention to fees, avoid impulsive purchases, keep learning, grow slowly but consistently. A realistic long-term snowball. The first $1,000 becomes a psychological base. If you keep reinvesting in skills and protect your earnings, your capacity to earn grows. Turn the $1,000 into more by putting it to work. Buy a course that doubles your rate. Purchase a tool that lets you serve more clients, or seed a small diversified investment after you have a buffer. Over time, disciplined reinvestment and compounding can move you from financial insecurity to reliable stability. This takes time. It also takes fewer miracles than most think. Mostly consistent work, small reinvestments, and protecting your gains from lifestyle inflation. Now slow down for a second. Close your eyes if you can. Picture logging into your banking app not with dread but with relief. Imagine it. The balances show progress. The largest negative number is smaller than it was yesterday. You have a small stash that tells you can handle 1 month of surprise. You have clients who pay on time. You have a skill that makes you proud. Feel that steadiness. That feeling is not abstract. It's available through small, disciplined choices repeated daily. A few tactical reminders before we finish. Do not consolidate expensive high-interest debt into another high-interest source. Do not invest borrowed money into speculative assets. Do not make big purchases to signal recovery. Keep your commitment simple. List debts, cut ego tax, defend 4 hours, learn a micro skill, earn your first $1,000 from that skill, reinvest, and repeat. You can take this plan and scale it to your life. The pace will vary. Some will sprint faster. Some will need more time. The principle is constant. Invest first in capacity. Preserve a margin of safety. Let compounding do its quiet work. And protect the discipline that got you here. This is a restart, not a one-off. Failures will happen. You might lose a client. You might have an unexpected expense. That's why the buffer, the skill set, and the habit of reinvesting matter most. Each setback is smaller when you've built capacity. Each recovery is faster because you now know how to rebuild. Commit right now to a 30-day restart challenge. For the next 30 days, do these non-negotiables. Every day, protect your 4-hour skill block. Every week, cancel at least one unnecessary recurring charge until none remain. Every day, update your debt list and log any payments. Every week, do one activity that directly improves your ability to get paid. Submit a pitch, complete a portfolio piece, or contact a potential client. Small wins compound. Track them. If you want a tool to walk you through this, there's a worksheet that lays out the 30 days step by step with prompts for your debt list, ego tax checklist, 4-hour schedule, micro skill tracker, and a first $1,000 action plan. Join a community that keeps you accountable if you need external pressure. Discipline is easier when it's not only self-imposed. You started with the worst kind of momentum, scarcity and inertia. You can convert that into the best kind, focused, relentless improvement. The path isn't pretty, it's not glamorous, it is boring, disciplined, and effective. Apply Buffett-inspired principles: frugality, margin of safety, compounding, patience. First to your habits and skills, then to your capital when it exists. Treat zero as neutral, not fatal. Take responsibility without shame. Build skill without ego. Protect time like it's currency. Your next move is simple. Keep that 4-hour block sacred tonight. Use it to do the first learning module of your chosen micro skill. Tomorrow, make the debt list and cancel at least one recurring payment you don't need. Repeat, you are not defined by yesterday's balance. You are defined by the discipline you show today. If you're ready to commit, subscribe and download the 30-day Zero Start worksheet linked below. Use it for the next 30 days. Share one small win in the comments. What subscription you canceled, the first client you landed, the first $100 you earned, and we'll hold you accountable. Restarting your financial journey is not a prayer. It's a plan. Start it now.